About 9 months ago, I set up this 20-litre tank behind me in hopes to create a jungle-themed aquarium. I wanted the plants to grow out and look like a jungle. I way overdid it, so as you can tell, the tank is looking pretty bad right now, and we're going to need to do some maintenance on it today. This is a bit of an update video, mainly just to show the progress of this tank, and we're going to be completely transforming it today, getting it back to its former glory. So let's just dive straight into the video. Now, just from looking at a distance, you can see that the multicolor is really overgrown, so we're going to need to trim that back. We've also got duckweed at the surface that I want to try to get rid of as much as possible, and then there's also some blackbeard algae dotted throughout, and there might be some other problems once we move all of the plants out. With that said, let's just start off by getting rid of that duckweed. Alright, now right here is all the duckweed. It's actually not a lot. It was a bit worse before and I did take a lot of it out. But what I'm thinking of doing is first of all taking out all the red root floater, and then we can get rid of all the excess duckweed. There'll be some trapped in the red root floater, but it'll take a while to grow back. Alright, so we've taken out most of the red root floater and we just got a little bit in, that doesn't matter. Alright, now we're using a hair comb, and it's really fine, so we can actually catch all the duckweed with it. So what we're going to do is grab it and brush it along the surface. Just keep going, and just like that, we've got all that duckweed right there. That's good stuff. Alright, so a lot less duckweed on the surface. It'll grow back definitely, and that's all the duckweed we got out just with that comb. Probably took 5 minutes. Much easier than using a net, because you can just like scrape the duckweed off the comb really easily. And here's all the red root floater that we've got just from this tank too. That is at least 2 handfuls. It's crazy. And we've still got more in the tank. Now that's the first step done. We've got the duckweed out. Now we need to get this clump of Monte Carlo out, and then we can go from there. Alright, so just like that, we took out all the Monte Carlo here, and it's already looking a lot better. Now the water's a little murkied up, but that's fine. What I've now realized is that we've got a lot of mess at the bottom here, so we're going to clear that all out. And we've also got moss throughout the blixer. We'll try to get rid of as much of that as possible, because it does look messy. And then up here, we've got different plantlets that I've actually placed to grow. So we'll just get rid of these, I guess. And also here, we've got blackbeard algae. I'll try pluck the actual algae off because it's not much, or I can just trim off those leaves. Now don't mind if there's not a lot of java fern there, it'll grow back, and hopefully there'll be no algae next time. First things first though, I want to get rid of this messy area, so let's tidy that up. So we just cleaned up all the moss here, and we also cleaned up the area at the bottom here. It still looks a little messy because of all the snails and gunk, but when we plant all the Monte Carlo back in, you won't see that. So we also planted in this little crypt that I found up in the moss. What we're going to do now is trim this back and having this java fern look nice and healthy again. So let's go do that. I've cleaned up all the java fern there, and there's absolutely no blackbeard algae I can spot at the moment, so that's a really good sign. We've cleaned all that, cleaned the bottom there, got rid of the duckweed and fixed up the moss. All we need to do now is basically plant all the plants back into the substrate, and then I think we're done. This is all the Monte Carlo right here, and we've also got some stem plants that'll go at the back there. We might float it, we'll see what happens, but first let's get the Monte Carlo in. Alright, and half an hour later, this is how the tank is looking. So you can see so much tidier now. And we've actually got some carpeting going on at the bottom again. Now I'm going to have to trim this back once the multicolor actually roots into the substrate, because the more often you trim it and the shorter you trim it, the easier it'll carpet out. So that's really important, and I'll just do that. And yeah, the moss looking great. The Java fern, it's back to its former glory again. Really happy about it. The fish are doing great, by the way. Didn't really talk much about them today, but they're amazing. They're really healthy, and I haven't seen any dead ones at all in the 9 months of keeping this aquarium. So that's really good, I guess. And we also got rid of most of the duckweed, so that's pretty good. I can just take out that little patch over there, and then it should be all good. So that's all completed now, really exciting. But there's something that we did get that I want to show you quickly. So if we move over to the crebensis tank, we actually got some new fish in here. So the other day my friend gave me an aquarium that had a couple fish in it from a friend of theirs. They didn't want the tank anymore, so they brought it to me, and with it came these platies. So we got, I think, 6, 2 males, 4 females. So that's a perfect ratio. I'm not exactly sure what species these are, like what type of platy. I've seen them before, but I'll have to search for them again. They're beautiful, and I was actually wanting to get platies for this tank. That's a win-win. And yeah, they're very beautiful. I actually just added them yesterday, so they're still adjusting to the tank, hanging out the back. But yeah, the crebensis are making sure they don't get near the bottom. But that's fine, because platies are mid to top dwellers, so they're happy just hanging out amongst all this weed and aquarium plants. So that's exciting, and I fed them this morning, and they already are eating, so that's really great. And yeah, so I guess this tank's definitely stocked. I wouldn't add any more fish for the time being, so that's exciting news. Now, if you want to see the full aquascaping of this aquarium, click the video on the screen now. But otherwise, have an awesome day. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video.